So of course Abdul Huck is a boxer. He's actually a revert himself from a Christian family and became a Muslim. The black one at the beginning, who I said was going to be a villain, we're 10 minutes in, and yeah, he's a boxer, so violent as far as the British public are concerned. Revert from a Christian family, so traitor. What else is it? He's handing out leaflets to the other people who arrive, mashallah. He's telling them about, the segregation between men and women, mashallah. He's giving them some leaflets. It's very, very nice. He's smiling at them and stuff. He's a very, very nice person, giving them evidence from the Qur'an and the Sunnah, but the language all around it is to do with him being different and separating himself off from the rest of the Muslims. He's the one who's implementing Islam. He says, I won't shake your hand, but I'll give you that leaflet. Very, very nice. He's smiling, he's speaking politely to them. Abdul Huck also believes he should avoid eye contact with women. I'm sorry, I'm doing this video 10 minutes after I made the last one. I'm sorry, I know I said that I'd wait until the end, but that's just too good. That's just too close to my prediction. Right, okay, I'm going to give you some other updates throughout it, but already, 10 minutes in, yeah, Abdul Huck is, he's black, and he even makes YouTube videos. He makes YouTube videos about his own extreme views. Yeah, boxer, separate himself off from the rest of the Muslims, a bit of an outcast apparently, even though he is the only one who has quoted the Qur'an and the Hadith in the entire documentary so far. Oh, there are Muslims all over the world who are being killed in wars and everything, so it's so pathetic to implement Islam properly. We just shouldn't be handing out leaflets when there are bigger problems in the Ummah. We just shouldn't be educating the Muslims about Islam in times like this. It seems like Abdul Haq is one of those Muslims who's bogged down with quotes from the Qur'an and from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's so different to all of the Muslims in the world. Brother Abdul Haq is just giving a reminder to the brother. Do not harm yourself and do not harm others when you start smoking a little bit of shisha. So the brother replies to him, is it not alright just to try it? Do we not just apply that same thing to alcohol and zina? Do we not apply that to a little bit of murder here and there? Or just try it? 22 minutes in. Knowledge of the religion is a very poisonous medicine. Knowledge of the religion when you have knowledge of the religion, you just don't practice Islam very well. Right. Joke stops for a second. Right, joke stops for a second. I might even put this in black and white if I can work out how to on my video editor. Because, I think she said something along the lines of where there's a hideous thing, and that's the Sunnah. I'm not sure when you took your Shahada, but it's not alright to call something that's the Sunnah a hideous thing. That's like rule number 1 of madrasa. I don't know how long ago you took your Shahada, but it sounds like it was even before we had a madrasa. So, that's not alright. Little hashtag down the bottom here. Hashtag MuslimsLikeUs. Don't use that. The BBC and society generally seem desperate for the Muslims to take the Qur'an and the Sunnah into our own hands. So if you're ever going to use a hashtag like that, or if that gets big, then inshallah we should counter it with a hashtag. I would suggest something like, not Muslims like us, but Muslims like the prophets, something like that, or Muslims like the Salaf, something like that. That would be a much better hashtag. Hashtag Muslims like the Salaf, rather than Muslims like us, some vague idea of us. just reinventing the religion that's revealed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, Abdul Huck is just doing a little bit of street dawah, mashallah, but you've got Muslims. You've got Muslims basically saying the people who write those resources are misinformed. Scholars, graduates from the universities of Al-Azhar and Jami'atul Medina, they're misinformed about the deen. Misinformed. So you shouldn't read these leaflets. You know, this is an assassination on some of the most prominent da'wah attempts in the UK. And actually here in Cornwall we have a da'wah table that we have some of the best conversations with our local community. We break down so many barriers with our local community. But after the community here in Cornwall, if any of you are watching this in Cornwall, know that our da'wah materials are authentic and you can come and have a chat with us about our knowledge of the religion whenever you like. Okay, it's every other Saturday in Falmouth, near the KFC. I don't know Falmouth very well, but near the KFC, we have a da'wah table. Come and have a chat with us. Don't listen to this nonsense from the BBC that they empower these voices that spew nonsense about the religion. Come down and have a chat with us. Our sister here is open to the opinion that music is probably haram, and definitely the music that you'll have at a pub. But she needs to go because she needs to be seen like a human. Let's listen to that. Let's just make sure that I've got the wording right. Yeah, haram. But it's important for me to go so people realise that I'm a human. You need to go to a pub and listen to music and do karaoke, which is what this lot are going to go and do, because that's permissible in the religion and that's a normal practice of Muslims, and that's what Muslims have to do to be seen like humans, apparently. She came away from religion, you know, very long time ago, and she's very surprised that the youth have lots of hang-ups, that they're still practicing this old religion, and if anything, it's got more extreme. You know, it's amazing that all of these young people are coming back to Islam and practicing Islam. There's got so many hang-ups. Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Sam and welcome back to another video with me here at Sam of Somalia. A big sordawo to the second video in this little two-part video where I'm gonna, obviously before I just watched what was going on in this Muslims Like Us documentary, and then obviously now I'm just going to have a little chat with you guys about it. So first thing is my predictions were right, nearly all of them. All of them to do with the brother Abdul Huck, with him being like the villain, and then making him look like the outcast, and like, you know, he's the only one I think who even quoted the Qur'an and the Sunna throughout the entire documentary, but he was the one who was like sat by himself and didn't represent the majority of the Muslims or anything like that. But I actually do have some positive things to say about the documentary. I think way more negative. I mean, it was nonsense. Like, it's obviously just anti-Islamic propaganda. Yeah, it's just liberal propaganda, really, is all of it was. But I think it did show, actually, people will interpret it differently to me. The same information will be interpreted differently, but it did actually present that very few Muslims actually practice Islam. I think it probably was a good and accurate documentary in some ways, to do with the numbers of people who do not practice Islam in accordance with the Qur'an or the Sunna, but it was just so bad. Like throughout the whole documentary, you've got all of these things, and like a lot of the things that Abdul Huck was saying, like my family who know me and stuff, and even close friends of mine who are non-Muslims, and they'll even be like nodding along with it, saying like, you know, Sam does stuff like that with us. Like Sam gives us advice, and Sam like tries to invite us to Islam with good words, and and has really nice manners and stuff when he's inviting us to Islam, and puts forward his arguments and quotes from relevant sources and stuff. And then about 45 minutes in, and this is classic, yeah. This is just. And about 45 minutes in, it all transpires. That Abdul Huck has been in trouble with the police. That of course he's the perfect candidate to want to go to Syria. If someone quotes from the Qur'an, and someone actually believes in their religion, then then they must be the sort of person who'll go to Syria, or they must be the sort of person who, you know, has friends. Sorry about that. I just cut out. 1 second. Yeah, because I've always been recording videos on my phone. By the way, sorry. This is a little kind of just information bite in the middle of what was quite a heated talk, but yeah, I cut out because I'm still recording videos on my phone. I've been recording videos on my phone since day one, and because I can't afford a camera. So if you want to help me, if you want to help me at Somalia, then please go to my Patreon. I'll leave a link in the description. Go to my Patreon and contribute a little bit, please, inshallah, to the channel, because I'd love to have a camera, but I mean, I have to feed my wife, my little boy, so so I'd love to be able to invest in a camera, inshallah. So when I get to a certain target on Patreon and have some contributions from my viewers, inshallah, then we can have a nice camera, I can record longer videos for you guys, and inshallah I won't just be cutting out right in the middle. But anyway, back to, I was saying, of course, Abdul Huck, because he practices religion properly, or I mean, in accordance with the Qur'an and the Sunna, and he references the Qur'an and the Sunna, then, you know, he must be the sort of person who is going to go to Syria, or he must be the sort of person who, you know, has friends in Pakistan who have been killed by drones, and people in Syria who have been killed by drones, and that must be the case. And that's terrifying. That's terrifying for someone like me, who goes about my life, like trying my very best to implement Islam in accordance with the Qur'an and the Sunnah, and all the people around me were looking at the way that Abdul Huck was behaving and stuff, probably nodding their heads saying, yeah, Sam, he's just like that. If anything, Sam's worse. Like, he's always like giving us da'wah and stuff. They were probably thinking. And then, you know, the BBC, as if there's just a natural transition from that into being the sort of person who'll go to Syria, is terrifying and just grossly irresponsible, really, from the BBC. So if you're out there, those of you who made it, shame on you. You should be ashamed of yourselves. What else is there? This is just the first episode. I don't know how many episodes there are going to be. I can't find the information here how many episodes there are going to be. But in the next video, some Shia Sunna beef comes up. I was just watching the little trailer bit at the end of this episode. So unfortunately, I say unfortunately, but in a way not, but in another way very fortunately, there were no Somalis in that, as far as I gather. The black brother Abdul Huck, it was Caribbean background, and then the other brother, I can't remember his name, was Nigerian. So actually no Somalis in that. So I couldn't make it particularly relevant. But actually, as we're here, let's do like Somali bite. Let's do like Somali language something, and I'll just come up with something at the end of every video, and we'll just learn a little bit of Somali, because I mean, we need Somali in there. Or else, what is this channel all about? What is the point in all of this if there isn't a little bit of Somali at the end? So let's do what like phrase or bit of grammar I'm already into at the moment, what I've been learning recently. Okay, just a little lesson. When you want to say the, it's ka, or like, yeah, there's just little suffixes that go at the end of words. I'll give you a few examples. So, for example, you have like the word Qur'an Kareem. We say like the Al-Qur'an Al-Kareem in Arabic. But that in Somali is Qur'an ka, Kareem ka. So instead of the al at the beginning, which means the, Qur'an ka is like the Qur'an. The Kareem is Kareem ka. But then sometimes that, just out of what easily flows, sometimes that ka and the feminine becomes ta or ti. So and it's often like reverse gender from the singular to the plural. So to say like a teacher, or like not really a scholar, just a teacher in a dugsi or something, they'll say ma'allin. So they'd say ma'allinka, the teacher, ma'allinka. But the plural, ma'allimin, that's a feminine word, ma'alliminta. So there's like reverse gender. So just a little bite for you guys, that kind of in Somali, nouns from singular to plural go like reverse gender. If the singular is masculine, like the word ma'allin is like the definite article is ka on the end, ma'allinka. But if it's the plural ma'allimin, then it becomes ma'alliminta. And the ta is generally the feminine. And then, but sometimes you hear like ga, you say like bugiga, you say like the book, bugiga. But that's, I mean, that's just because it's difficult to say like bugika, Bulgika. So sometimes it goes bulgiga, and they just change the sounds a little bit. But those are the two definite articles. In Somali, the masculine one in the singular is ka, and the feminine one is ta. So the example that I gave was ma'allinka, but lots of ma'allins, ma'alliminta. Little irrelevant and impromptu but very valuable Somali bite at the end of this video, because we have to get one in every video. I've been told off before for doing videos that aren't relevant to Somali at all. So I'm not going to do that again, because I know what you guys come here for. You want some Afka Somaliga from your Nina Adan, and you want to say Shako Fi'an. bit of a rhyme there. A little bit more of a blabbering before I end this video. I'm writing a book, by the way. Oh, should I show you the front? Yeah, I'm going to show you the front cover. I'm going to have it up here. If I can work out how to do the editing for that. I'm going to have it up here. Okay, and because that book is all about like my journey from like first ever even seeing Somalis up to like hitting like 6,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and it's all about kind of my journey to East Africa and meeting Somalis in East Africa, meeting Somalis in the Netherlands, the influences that those people had on me and stuff like that. I'll do a separate video giving you more of a little bit of a taste of what that is all about. But I just wanted to plug it and let you guys know that is coming. That is coming, and get ready for it. Because in the first week I'll do a little offer for you guys. I'll do it a bit cheaper. But yeah, so that's something else that's coming up. I don't know why that was relevant though. Don't worry about it for now, but we've got it in and it will stay in. So if you enjoyed this video, and I hope you did, then please don't forget to like and share it, and share the one before as well. Like if you just came in and just watched this one, you might not be quite sure what I was going on about. So it'd be worth sharing them in a pair. Maybe I'll put them in a playlist for you. So that's what I'll do. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Oh yeah, and nabadgilyo.